Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. How is everybody doing? Huh? Wakey, wakey. Who? Everybody that got a nap raised their hands. Huh? It was a beautiful nap, too. I guess I can take these off until I'm talking to you guys. It was a 90-minute nap. 90-minute nap I had. Then I almost overslept. Woo! So how we doing? Let's see who we got here. The link to join the show is pinned to the top of the comments. So as we go on, we'll do that. I want to also share the bracket here. Once we get a few people, I'll do a screen share and show the bracket. Who won the bracket challenge? Who was in last place? That type of deal. So we got that. All right, Sam, how you doing, bud? Yeah, man. Fluffy's having a good time. He had a much better year this year, right? You know what I mean? Definitely. Damien, how you doing, bud? Colin, yep, link is pinned. You'll join later. Okay, bud. We should be here till about 10. Kyle's going to come in about 8:45 and give my throat a little bit of a break, and then I'll come in again. How you doing, Steven? Back to back. Ain't that right, Derek? Bubba. Gray says Oilers are getting investigated for their LTI use of Kane, huh? Interesting. Real that I see Barkov show up at his neighbor's house at 5 a.m. drunk. No, I did not see that. But I took a nap this afternoon. I only saw a few things. I'll have to check on that. Hey, Spaceman. I did see the chant to Adrian Gear. I did, yeah. I definitely saw that. Hey, Trey. Ashley, how we doing? Austin. Spaceman Kyle will be here at 8:45. Thank you, Riley. Appreciate that, bud. Who is this on the screen? I don't know. It's Charles' younger brother, man. Austin, yeah, you can join the show. It's the same rules as the chat. Just be cool, right? We'll have everybody on for a few minutes. Trey's got to roll through DK. Ashley, explain this more. So basically, if you go to the top of the chat, there's a link. You click that link. When you click it, you will go into my backstage. You'll go into my backstage area. I will see you. And then once I get to a part in the chat where we're having people on, I'll click on and you'll be here with us, just like if we were doing a Zoom meeting or something like that, only it'll be live on television for everybody to see. All right, let's see. Sean, Josh shaving his face must mean I had a discussion with Dangle. No. No, this was, I always cut it this short for the summer. Every time we go to the Cup, I cut my beard short, right? As if it's a tradition, right? No, I just get so tired of it being thick that I make it short like this after the finals, and then it'll come back in. This is a little bit shorter than I normally keep it, but for summertime, it's still pretty good. Yeah, power nap's called a cat nap. Hey, Kazuma wants to know where I would put Maurice on the all-time list of great coaches after back-to-back. What's he, third in wins, right? Is he third in wins now? I'd have to think about the list, but you'd have to start talking about at least top 5, right? You know, Cooper's on that list too. Hey, Rozzy. I should eat blizzards with Kyle while watching the parade on TV. It's like an hour drive, though, to get DQ. The Cup got dented again. Yeah, Sam, I saw that. Yeah, the celebration clips, it's fantastic, right? The cup got dented by the Red Wings in '08 too. Hey, Jameson. Yeah, the Nate Schmidt video. Like I said, I haven't checked anything. I haven't checked my email this afternoon because I did take that nap. But if you guys got anything you want me to put on the channel or react to, just email it to me at flyingfluffyhockey@gmail.com. I'm probably going to wake up really early and get to that stuff in the morning. SoFlo, the shaved face jump scare. Hey, Molly. Yeah, it has been a drunken spectacle of fun. Ain't that the truth? Hey, Jeff, can they three-peat? I believe so. Let's see what happens with free agency, but I believe so. Oh, good question, Spaceman. What food would I eat and drink out of the Stanley Cup trophy? So I would have spaghetti and meatballs out of it. I would have spaghetti and meatballs out of it. That's what I would eat. In terms of drinking, I had to think about that for a second. Chocolate milk with instant coffee in it. Yeah, and that sounds good. Hey, Jason, how you doing, bud? No, Hungry, I did not see the salty article the Wall Street Journal wrote. That's the kind of stuff I'm saying. Send it to me. I love to hear that stuff. Ashley, no, he didn't hear me. Did he? Are you asking if he did it again, or did you hear it and you're asking if we saw it? Hey, Gabriel, we are the champions again, no doubt. Derek says cookie dough blizzards in the Stanley Cup. That's not bad. That's not bad. Rozzy, yeah, Dangle tried. He tried to hedge his bets, but he still just can't. Did you guys see the thing I put out from Spit and Chickless today? I might do a little bit more with that. Biz actually blaming the tax thing, man. He's still all about the stupid tax thing. Nick says, does that mean Chucky Puppet time? Yeah, the beginning of next year, we'll probably bring Chucky on over the summer at some point here. Yeah, I mean, he's right here. This is the Chicken Chuck puppet. He's already made a couple of cameos. I'm just working on his voice a little. I pretty much got his voice, but I want to wait till I can have it consistent. Hey, Cade. I don't know when we're getting the DK sponsor. DQ. SoFlo says my family friends are neighbors with Kachuk, and they broke into his backyard and hung with him and the cup for a bit. Also, your other friends are neighbors with Reinhardt. I saw that. I saw somebody. I saw that picture on Twitter with Reinhardt and all the hats on the lawn. Oh boy, my throat is gone. By the way, this is backwards, but we will be live at noon tomorrow again, so we're good to go. Austin says Panthers back-to-back is better than the Lightning. Well, you got I mean 2-2, right? It's hard to compare. It's a good question though, Austin. In terms of would this Panther team beat the Lightning's two? That's actually a subject for a video. I think I'll keep that one in the back pocket. Somebody remind me to do that in the next couple of weeks. Would this two-time Cup team beat the Tampa Bay Lightning's Cup teams 2 times in a row? Kate says, no Dangle, his saltiness is bad for oneself. Yeah. Hey, Bex. Nick said Barkov said in an interview he's confident they're going to three-peat. Wow. That's interesting. Oh, Jason, chicken Alfredo. That's pretty good. That's actually pretty good. Riley, if I was a pro wrestler, what would my Jaws? The Jaws theme. The Jaws theme. Yeah. Sam, yeah, I think Bennett's going to sign an 8x8. Maybe we'll have to give him 8.5, but I think he's staying. I feel good about that. Hey, running with the Devils. Appreciate that, bud. Yeah, man. We're blessed. There's no way around it, right? There's no way around it. We're just enjoying it as it is. We're just going to enjoy it, man. Rogers, yeah, the cup seems to get damaged every year. Yeah. Ashley, no, I don't know if it happened again. Thank you, Hungry. Stroganoff hamburger helper out of the cup. Cade, oh, now I'm getting hungry. I can see I'm going to need to eat after this stream. No way, real. The title of the Wall Street article is the NHL's preeminent dirtbags are now Stanley Cup champions. Wow. Yeah, send me, mate. I need to see that article. I need to see that. If it's subscription-based, can one of you screenshot it for me and send it to flyingfluffyhockey@gmail.com? I would love to do a video on that for sure. Trey, DK's D. Why do I keep saying DK? DQ. I think we're an hour away. Beck says, I feel like McDavid's emotions from this loss wasn't as bad as last year. He almost seems lost and expected the loss. To me, if you want to know the truth, I kind of feel like maybe he's getting frustrated with the whole goalie situation. You know, and it's crazy how similar the Marchand one and the first Reinhart one was. Riley, Lucky Charms in the cup. That's interesting. Biscuits and gravy. Hey, David. Hey, Florida, man. Yeah, we want next year's cup too, right? Lucky Charms is pretty good. Hey, Cuban, how you doing, bud? Yeah, let's get rid of LaCroix. Yeah, imagine a DQ patch on there. That would be awesome. Cereal and beer would be your choice, Derek. That's interesting. Hey, Dustin, how you doing, bud? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, bud. How you been, man? His separately, of course, the cereal and the beer. Yeah, Cade. It was a good series. But Charles, yeah, I saw that earlier. They signed Alexander. $6 million for the Ravens. Unbelievable. Yeah, Vix, there's been 3 teams to repeat in the last 10 years. So, yeah, I know everybody's saying that Tampa won it during the COVID years. I understand that. I try not to put the asterisk there on them because I wouldn't want to put on us if it had happened that way. But I understand people's thoughts that way. Certainly having to play the Canadiens was probably not the typical matchup that you would expect, right? Trey, I think there was 2, right? Because there had to be, I think they were letting some fans in a little bit by the second one, right? Because the first one was just complete. Remember, they had the cardboard cutouts of people and stuff. But then we came back the next year and we had the weird aligned divisions. So I think there was 2. Nick says Bennett was chanting 8 more years. Yeah, man, I got a short on the channel. I saw that. Running with the Devils. It is a fun team, man. It's there's nothing like expecting to win. Like there's hoping to win and praying and thinking but there's nothing like knowing. It's like, you know what? We play our game. The team that Zito has assembled here is just crazy. All right, Icy, yeah. Nick says, can we see Kyle and I at the banner raising ceremony? I would never say it's impossible. What I will say is if we showed up, I would have to take Matthias too, because I promised him when we went to Florida in December that the next time we would go that we would take him. So we'll have to see. Hungry says at least our guys didn't drop the cup in the river in Chicago, right? Yeah. Hey, thank you, Random with the Devils. Thank you, bud. Much, much, much appreciated, buddy. Thank you, bud. He says, congrats again. I used to feel this way years ago, expecting to win. Yep. Yeah, the Devils had their time for sure, right? Thank you, bud. Much appreciated, man. Yeah, I saw that, David. The Checkers got worked 6-1. Yeah, I saw that. David says, no asterisk, still won it on the ice. That's how I feel about it, right? I mean, the rules are the rules. I don't think that I don't like to take anything away from Tampa because they won it under those circumstances, because they probably win it anyway under normal circumstances. They were the better team far and away during that time. Nobody was going to win a cup against Tampa those couple of years the way Vasilevsky was playing. So did they play fewer games? Sure. I mean, that can't be debated, over the course of those 3 years. But I still feel like the 2 cups that they won, I still feel like they would have won them anyway. Kazuma. Well, the Checkers, they're only down 2-1 though, right, Kazuma? Right? SoFlo, towards the better half of Benny's new contract, Lundell can take over 2C. Yeah, I've been talking about that, SoFlo. I talked about that in the members podcast last week. Talked about it a little bit today. If you get Bennett at 8.5, and 3-4 years from now, you just flip-flop Lundell and Bennett. You got Bennett at 3C at 8.5, which is, by that time, for the salary cap, would still kind of be a bargain-ish. You know what I mean? Considering what he brings to the team. George says, I would go scuba diving with some sharks with the cup. That's right, Marvin. The Rat Machine carry continues on. Who says this? Let me see. Florida Man says Brady Tkachuk to be traded to the Cats next season. I don't see how we could do it. I don't see how we could ever really do it. We just don't have the salary money for that. I don't know where he'd play right now anyway. Hey, trades at Dairy Queen. Very cool. Very cool, buddy. Pacharo, well, all of the Checkers guys are Panther players. Yeah. There's a few down there that may come up next year. Ooh, my throat is killing me today, but it's a good sore throat. Thank you, Cuban. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Cuban. He says Panthers are going to sign Aaron, Sam, Brad, and get Mitch. Also, inside source. What I do agree with. Did you guys see Bill Zito was on the McAfee show today? They asked him if they can grab. McAfee asked Zito if he can go down to the elbow room and get the guys to sign their contracts while they're drunk. Julian, okay, hold on a second. Let me find it, bud, because I skipped to the super chat. Hold on. Marvin says I look like a new man. I appreciate that. I'll be my normal self within a week, right? Julian, let's find it. Let's see. Where was it? Was it behind? I'm looking for it, but hey, Miami 305. Yeah, man. Happy anniversary for Fluffy, right? We're getting there, man. Thank you, bud. I did see that, Dean. Yeah. Hey, Jake, how you doing, bud? I'm going back up. Okay, Julian says, George, I think we signed Bennett and Martian, allowing Martian to play with Lundell and turn Lundell into a star. Yeah. Yeah. I know that from the sound of it, Zito is trying to get all three guys to stay. He's not playing around, especially if you listen to the things he said on McAfee today. If you read between the lines and wishful thinking, he's definitely trying to get all three to stay. Whether or not we're able to do that or not, that's a whole nother ball of wax. But he's trying to do it. So they just need Vinny to get them. Just get each guy his own Dairy Queen franchise. They pick 3 different locations, and Bennett, Ekblad, and Marchand each get their own Dairy Queen franchise. I like that idea. What's the joke, Spaceman? What did I miss? Yeah, it still leaves an 8, right? What did Spaceman say? Sharksman free Taco Bell. That's funny. John says, can Bettman have a third award after the Cup called the Golden Bozo Award? This award is the exact opposite of the Conn Smythe. This year's winner should be Evander Kane. Yeah. I don't want to dunk on the dude, right? He's had a bad enough time, but sometimes your bad times are self-created. And I forget who. No, I think it was Jake that said it earlier. We were talking about it, and I kind of agree with the possibility that Kane took that slashing penalty against Tkachuk, so he'd get ejected, so he'd have the excuse of why he wasn't at the handshake line. It seems like that seems pretty logical. Hey, Adonis, how you doing, bud? Yeah, hungry. Yeah, exactly. I was very disappointed. I was very lazy. Trees, congrats, Oilers morphed into congrats, Corey Perry. It was very, very lazy. I expected better from him, and then all he does is he says, trust me, Bennett's going to Toronto to get $10.5 million. I mean, the video wasn't even 2 minutes long. I was really disappointed in Tree's video. I'll be honest with you. Adonis, I get it, bud. That's cool. Strafosky, do I think Schmidt is gone? The assumption would be that he wants another contract elsewhere. He wants to make himself a little bit more money. If he wants to stay, I wouldn't mind having him. But maybe we want to get younger in that spot too, right? Especially if we're talking about trying to go for a three-peat and you already got Kulikov on the bottom pair. Maybe you want to get younger there a little bit, but I wouldn't be against him signing, but it would have to be for, $900,000. I says Bill Zito says he bought a Dairy Queen to try to keep Marchand. Soflo says Schmidt and Nosa go get paid somewhere. Yeah, probably. But Charo, because he's very salty. He's asking why Dangle has to talk about them every time a Panther player does something. He's very salty. His team isn't winning. We keep beating his team. And yeah. Roger says Zito mentioned on Sportsnet last night he feels he can get Bennett and Marchand signed. I don't disagree. What a wonderful thing that would be if we actually pull it off, right? I mean, how beautiful would that be? George says Marchand's going to play until Chelios age and win with Florida. Then he goes to San Jose and win there. He's going to go back to Chicago so he can take back the 13-second goal. Braves fan says, I've seen a couple of rumors that said Ekman may even take 3x3 or 3x3.5. Well, I generally don't like to buy into rumors, but for shits and giggles, if you gave Bennett 8.5, if you had to give Marchand 5, that's 13.5. If you gave Ekblad 3.5, that's 17. That leaves you $1 million for a backup goalie and another $1 million to have either a backup forward. No, you could do that, because if Ekblad took that, which I don't know how likely that is, but if he did, then you don't have to trade Erod, so your forward group is already locked up, and you just need money for a backup goalie and one extra defenseman, 7D. Oh, that's right, Julian. Yeah, don't let me forget. We got to sign Samoskevich too. Yeah. Samo is an RFA, probably $1.50 to $2, somewhere in there for Samoskevich. Hey, Detron, how you doing, Dietrich? So, Real says, besides Benedict, Ekblad, Marchand, we need to see what's going on with Mackey, Nosek, Schmidt. Well, the only reason we would trade Erod is if we're trying to sign Marchand. Unless these guys just take, nothing. Which I can't imagine that. All right, we got Mr. Vids here, so I'm going to pop my earbuds in and say hi to him for a second here. Get my glasses on so I can see. Gotten so bad. Hey, Mr. Vids, you there?
Hey, Jaws, what's up, dude? Can you hear me all right?
Hey, hold on a second. Let me turn up the volume here a little bit so I can hear you better.
10-4, buddy.
All right, start talking.
Awesome. Mic check.
Yeah, we're good.
Awesome. Dude, back-to-back championships. I can't believe it, dude.
Ain't that it, man? Ain't that it?
I'm so happy I was wrong about us losing Game 6, because I thought it was going to be something similar to Toronto. Like, we'll barely lose, right, and then we would just mop the floors in Game 7. But you know what? I'm happy I'm wrong. Woo!
I'll take it, man. The recap room is the same room I do my eBay pack and ship in. And I was sitting there talking with Kyle this morning, and I'm like, 9 seasons of the channel. I started the channel because we were so bad.
Oh my God.
And within 9 years, we've been to the finals 3 straight times with two cups. I mean, that's an obnoxious turnaround when you think about where we were when we did the whole Tom Rowe thing.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, I just remember back then, like 2015, like back then, like the most prominent YouTube channel at the time, at least before you started making this a regular thing, was Rats on the Ice.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully he was able to watch it. I don't know if he uploaded a video yet or not, but yeah, I'll definitely give a shout out to Rats on the Ice, man, because he was definitely one of the OGs with Panther content.
Yeah, I talk with him all the time. We were texting during the last several games, and he's happy. Yeah, he's doing well, and so he's been watching everything, and he's in the same boat as me in the sense of just like, can you believe that this is what ended up happening?
From bottom of the barrel to the cream of the crop, it always ends up on top, as the late Randy Savage would say.
I love it, man. I love it.
Awesome.
So for those of you, this is oh, hey Raven, how you doing, bud? So this is Mr. Vids, guys. This is Mr. Vids who's on right now. They don't see your face, so they can't tell.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's just the profile picture.
Yeah, gotcha. I understand.
Fortunately, I don't have a camera set up for this yet.
No, that's okay. That's cool. You're coming in loud and clear.
Awesome.
So, if you had to pick, well, I'll ask it to you two different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we can sign all three? But if not, which two would you pick?
Gosh, I really would hope that maybe somehow, some way, just for the sake of the team. Obviously, they want that money. They want to get paid.
Sure.
But I would just think for the sake of the team, and if they want to keep this successful, I would hope that maybe they can just take a pay cut, because I cannot pick. I would not be able to pick. I could not be in that situation. I'll be the first doing it. I could not make that decision.
Yeah.
I want all three of them to stay, and maybe hey, you know what? Just take a little pay cut, and I'll be willing to stay with the team. But obviously, hey, if they want to make more money, they definitely deserve it. So.
Right. And, my feeling, this is kind of like when I've extrapolated it all in my head and I've played it all out, the one thing that I would think that might come into play is, so Bennett's going to get paid, but you start talking about Ekblad and Marchand, especially Marchand. And maybe I'm giving him too much credit, right? Because it's wishful thinking. But I wonder how he would feel about, like, okay, he's going to come in and he's going to sign and he's going to get a certain amount of money, but we got to trade Rodriguez, who's been here for both cup runs, to do it. I wonder how Marchand on a personal level would feel about that. So I just wonder if they're going to just kind of get together, the three of them, and try to find a way to make the math work. Like if Zito just sat them down and just said, look, between the three of you, I got $15 million. You guys figure it out.
Even Stevens it? Just, 5?
Yeah, 5. Oh, yeah. Can you imagine the Canadian markets if Bennett was like 8x5?
Yeah.
They're gonna explode no matter if we sign all three. They're gonna explode.
And I always gotta say it's pretty funny that they always revert back to that. Because it's there's no state tax,
right?
Florida. But
right.
At the same time, everything else is expensive here, the housing and everything.
Right.
So it's just like, okay, yeah, no taxes, but oh my god, yeah, everything else. As someone who used to live in Florida, like that's no.
Right, and I see. To give you an idea of how people think about these things and the narratives that go around and how people don't even understand how it works. I saw a comment talking about the tax thing on the chiclets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the person leaving the comment was like, of course it's the tax thing. How do you think? Because the Panthers are the only one that can get the good players because of the taxes. That's how they ended up getting Jones and Marchand this year. Mm-hmm. And it's like, the tax thing couldn't have any less to do with how Jones and Marchand ended up coming here this year.
It just shows how better managed our team is compared to the other places. They'd rather come to Florida than go to up north. Sorry, guys. Sorry, the original six. Sorry, Canada. Sorry. It's just now we're the better teams, or just happen to be in South Florida right now. That's not going to last forever.
No.
Don't be complaining. Like.
No, and that's the other thing I was talking with Kyle today. It was just like, man, I'm just going to enjoy this while it's here because, maybe we can three-peat, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But at some point, Kyle and I will be streaming a game that's in the playoffs that's after Florida's out. You know what I mean?
Oh man! Well, hopefully, if we can do this, maybe 2 more seasons. Remember, I jokingly said when we won our first one, we're gonna do an Oilers. We're gonna win 4 in a row. Hey, we're halfway there now.
Hey, we're halfway there.
You know what?
There.
I was just happy we got to finally win it last year, and I think with everything going on in my life, whatever they do afterwards, that's just icing on the cake. You know what? I'm blessed. You know what? I'm happy with what they're doing. We're not the bottom of the barrel. We are the example of how to run a hockey team.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Mr. Vids, I appreciate you popping on with us, man. You've been here for a long, long time with us. Really appreciate all the support, man. And same time, same place next year.
You know it, Jaws. And yes, dude. And this one's for you, Fluffy.
Yeah, thank you, bud.
God bless.
All right, buddy. Take care. Okay, bye.
Yep.
All right. So we got Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid is joining us. I put in a request. for him to show up. Now, he's not looking so good. He may look a little bit different to y'all. But, yeah, here we go. Connor McDavid. Connor, how you doing, bud? Hey! Beautiful. Connor, I'd like to ask you a question. Were there passengers on your team too?
Wow.
Yeah, Spaceman, that's Trey.
Now that you mention it, it did look like there were a few passengers in Edmonton. I mean, what a wild ride for the Leafs. Here's why I say that. They've been out for a month, right?
Yeah.
Tearing everything apart. Shanahan should have got fired, but nonetheless. And then Marner's gone. Get him out. Done. We're done with this team. Fuck everybody. And then Carolina series happens. This Edmonton series happens. And now they're like, oh, shit.
Wait a minute.
Maybe the Panthers are just that good.
Yeah.
Now, you still might have to do some stuff. Like, we played Tampa 3 years ago.
Right.
And it didn't really work out.
Yeah.
But we didn't rest on that and go, oh, well, they went to the Cup. It was their third straight Cup. We were like, we can't win the way we play.
Right.
You have to make that move. And
right.
Similar to what Dallas just did, speaking of stuff aging differently, Peter DeBoer had to be so pissed.
Right.
Game 4 in particular. He got fired for that.
Yep.
And then the Oilers almost won the Cup doing it.
I know. They I mean, when I heard they were putting Skinner back in, on one hand, you kind of like, okay, I expected it. But just like when we took Tampa to 6 the first year that we lost to them, and you went Bob, Drieger, Bob. And it was like, you kind of knew that,
My son, Spencer Knight.
That's what I'm saying. We finally went to Knight. Had we gone to Knight earlier, maybe we get that series to 7. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Does Spencer get a ring this year for being on the team at the start of the year, or is that not?
I don't know. That's actually a good question. I don't know what the rules are for goalies, because I know for players, like, you got to play like 41 games or something.
Right. Like, I know he doesn't go on the Cup. I know that, but I don't know if he gets a ring or not.
That's a really good question.
He should. Yeah, he's a good boy, and he's my son, and I love him. And he's going to bring cups to Chicago when all of our guys get old.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Huh. Interesting. But at least Mackie gets a ring. My kid gets a ring. So sorry about your kid, but my kid's got a ring.
Yeah, and he's gonna get offer sheeted, and I'm gonna love it.
No, he's offer sheet ineligible. Didn't you hear that?
Are you fucking with me?
No. I thought you. So somebody came to the noon stream.
Are you pulling a tray right now?
Somebody came to the noon stream about a week ago and explained it. He's only got 1 season of NHL experience, so he's offer sheet ineligible this time.
I don't like it.
So sorry.
I wanted the draft pick. I wanted to get our draft pick back for trading for Marchand.
No way, man. That's part of the gig. Is like, if we do sign Marchand, when we sign Marchand, we'll just put it that way. Forget even the salary cap part. Unless we're going to have a 4th line of Boquist, Rodriguez, and Greer with Gadjevich as an extra, somebody has to go just by the numbers.
I mean, we talked about it in the chat. Like, we got a lot of young guys who are ready. They may not be Maurice ready.
Right.
But, like, Sardiv's ready. Mackey's ready.
Yeah.
I guess I can't technically say my son Jack Devine is ready because he hasn't played in any minor league hockey yet. But
right.
judging by what he did in college, that dude's going to be playing in the NHL pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it could end up being a situation where that's how we end up, recouping the draft, a little bit of draft pick here or there, because you're only going to have those kids sit for so long. Mm-hmm. And the way that we're getting these guys locked up, I mean, Samaskevich's spot is really the only even debatable spot in the top 6 that would even be questionably open. You know what I mean? Everything else, and really, if you sign Marchand in the whole top 9, there's nothing there. There's nowhere for anybody to come in at all.
And then the only thing, honestly, not to get too cocky, but you can after 2 in a row. The only thing that's stopping us from winning 3 is health. That's it.
Yeah. And I would like us to make sure we have a more suitable backup goalie.
Sure, but I feel like that's more of a regular season thing because it's going to be Bob in the playoffs no matter what, and if Bob gets hurt, we're fucked. So it's like,
well, yes and no. So I agree for the most part, and MJ's in the back room here. I see you, bud. I'll have you up next. I agree to most of the extent, but if something should happen in a playoff series where Bob has to miss 2 games, right? You at least want somebody that can come in and split and isn't going to be like Vanacek. If Vanacek had to go in against Edmonton, I mean, good night.
They're winning the cup,
just good night. And yeah, I think somebody here was saying Lion King. I would be fine with having Alex Lyon back because he's going to be a gamer and just give you a game or 2 if you need one.
Yeah, I mean, we could win with Lyon, but I don't want to see it. I don't want to try it at all. So I mean, I still put all that faith in Bob. And when you put all that faith in Bob, it means you're putting all that salary in other players who can help Bob.
Yeah.
But before I leave
and
let MJ get on here, I want to ask if you are ready for the Connor McDavid in Montreal era.
Well, that's after how
in Edmonton, and then he's going French, baby.
Wow, you think that's what's going to go down?
Dude, look at their salaries. Caulfield's only making $8 million. Suzuki's only making $8 million. And he's got Japanese honor. He has no problem giving the C to McDavid. So that's going to work out just fine. They got the cap. They got the C. They got the players. They got the building. He's going to Montreal. I don't know if that's good.
Wow.
It sounds funny.
Well, that'll be interesting because then I guess in order to make sure that we can compete against the Canadiens, I guess we'll have to get Brady from Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
We get a captain every year.
Exactly, right.
And since Boston didn't get rid of Sweeney, we could maybe get Pasta. I mean, they like doing stupid shit. So it's
within three years from now, the bottom line's going to be Crosby, Pasta, and Marchand, right?
Yeah.
All playing for $1 million.
Mm-hmm. The taxes.
Yeah, exactly. It's the taxes. Yeah. All right, brother. I'm going to get. Yep. Thank you. I love you got that belt, man. That's sweet.
Oh, yeah.
I know. All right, buddy. We'll talk.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. All right. Let me just take a sip here. What time is it? I saw a super chat come through. Let me just make sure I get to that. Let's see. Who was this? Let's see. Oh, I just come over here. Hey, thank you, Henderson. Thank you, bud. Much appreciated, Henderson. Says, evening, champs. Hope you all enjoyed the parties, festivities. They're still cracking. They're still cracking on. Thank you, bud. All right. Let me scroll down here. And, okay, MJ. Hey, MJ!
Stanley Cup champions again! Woo-hoo! Hey, Jaws, how are you doing?
Oh, man, well, I wouldn't want to try to sing any songs right now. I'm like frying, but it's a good sore throat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a good
Well,
sore
you
throat.
deserve it. We're back-to-back champs, so
Can you
feels
believe
great.
this? Yeah, and so what do we do now? What for our next trick? I mean, I guess, right? I mean, you have to, like, you're allowed to talk about 3 now, right?
Yes. But as far as a dynasty,
Yeah.
I've been reading different things here and there about, are we a dynasty? Are we not yet? Do we need to win another title? Personally, I think we're one of the best teams ever. But as far as dynasty, wouldn't go that far unless we win next year. Then at that point, we can call ourselves a dynasty.
Yeah, and being we would be the only team that won 3 straight in the salary cap era too.
Right.
So, and that means something when you consider, just especially right after COVID with the flat cap and all of that.
Right.
And some of that, I keep giving Dale Talon credit, but some of that goes back to, the Barkov contract and the Ekblad contract. I mean, look at it's turned out to be pretty damn reasonable considering, how things are now.
Mm-hmm.
And the way Zito was talking, I mean, it really sounds like he's going to give it his all to get all 3 guys signed. What do you think is going to happen? You think they're going to pull that off?
Well, you mentioned Ekblad. Speaking of which, I was actually going to talk about him. I'm leaning more towards Ekblad leaving. We had talked about this a little bit in past streams, but we've got Seth Jones now, and that's kind of one of those things where we got Seth Jones because we're anticipating Ekblad possibly going somewhere else. Where that's going to be, I don't know. But Barkov is going to stay here. Who was the other one you mentioned? I'm sorry.
Well, we're talking Bennett.
Yeah.
Bennett, Ekblad, and Marchand. Obviously, Marchand being the wishful thinking piece.
Right. Yeah. I think Bennett's going to stay. Marchand, I don't know.
Right.
We'll see. But I would love for him to come back. I mean, this guy, I'm going to be honest, this Stanley Cup victory run that we went on this year, a portion of that was Marchand.
Oh, sure.
Marchand, and then Kachuk, and then Bubba, and, everyone else. So
right.
I think I think our best chance, or we have a pretty good chance of winning again next year if we bring Marchand back.
Yeah, if we can re-sign him, I like those chances. Hey, Kyle, how we doing?
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah.
Bring Kyle on camera.
Yeah, here, Kyle. Come on.
Where's Kyle?
He's right here.
There.
He's right here. In fact, I'll give Kyle the headphones for a few minutes, get my throat for a couple of minutes, and then I'll be back. I'll be right back. But here you go.
Sounds good.
We got MJ is on, and then JC's over here. All right. So yeah, but I'll be back in a minute, guys.
All right, sounds good.
That way I can use my throat. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, of course.
Kyle! I've got the rally towel. This isn't from this year. This is from last year.
Okay.
So I need to get a new one.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to get a new one.
Yes, I do. I got to get a new one. I was going to tell Jaws, I just ordered my championship hat, the T-shirt, and there's like a long sleeve or sweatshirt kind of thing that's got the championship logo on it. So
Nice.
Yeah, it's supposed to arrive here, I think, July 1st. Well, one is going to arrive here July 1st. Another one I think is going to come like next week or like right before July 1st. So, but yeah, I'm excited. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Good. Feeling very good. It's an amazing year. Wow, we did it again.
Yeah.
I'm very happy, but at the same time, I don't think it's completely hit me. It's sort of hit me, but I think as the days go on and, we have the parade and everything, it's going to be like, yes, we are champions again. So
yeah. I'm just noticing on my dad's live stream background, it's still the 2024 championship. He'll have to update it to 2025.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to get that new sign too.
Yeah, he already bought the wood sign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Beck says hello.
So while I'm on here, a couple of things. First, thank you, Kyle and Jaws and Donna and Leia, for streaming all the games this year. You guys are probably, this is the best YouTube channel. I've mentioned this before, by the way, but this is the best YouTube channel, best YouTube community. You guys have been amazing, not just this year, but the last 2 years that you've been streaming. And so we thank you for all your hard work and all of your effort, and it paid off. You know, where it's good to see them the team be champions again. That's the first thing. Second thing, I was going to tell this to Jaws, but then he had to step away. I am proud to announce that I booked my flight and I bought my tickets for the Winter Classic in January.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep. So I was going to say, I'll see everybody. For those who are already in Florida or planning to go there, I'll see everyone in January. We need to get like a group meetup or something.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, Jaws and Donna and we definitely would like to make it there. So we'll do our best to make it there because yeah, it's a Winter Classic in Lone Depot Park.
Funny thing is, I've seen the park from the outside, but I haven't been inside it yet. So this is probably going to be my best chance. Because I don't know between now and January.
Hello?
Oh, yeah,
I think it froze up.
Oh, can you hear me?
Hello?
Are you there? How's my...
Yeah, MJ is frozen up.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right, you're back.
Oh, are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, good. Yeah, wait, but so yeah, I've seen the stadium, the Marlins Park, from a distance, but I haven't been inside it yet. I don't know if I'm going to get down to Florida this summer. I've got some other travel plans. I actually just booked a couple things. I got to go back to the West Coast. I can tell you guys about that when I'm not on here. But I'd love to see it. I'd love to see what it's like. And I've been trying to get there ever since it opened, but just never had a chance. I forget if you or Jaws have been to the new park yet.
I don't think my dad has ever been to the modern Marlins Park, at least not when it was Lone Depot Park. That's the site of the Orange Bowl, and he did go to Dolphins games back in the day at the Orange Bowl.
That's right. I do remember him talking about that on the streams. I think he even said something in his book about it too.
But I've never been to either Lone Depot Park or Hard Rock Stadium, so basically, if I do make it down to Florida in January with Jaws and Donna, it'll be basically my first pilgrimage to the site of the former Orange Bowl, since I obviously never got to see it.
Right. I've been to Hard Rock. Well, it used to be called Pro Player / Sun Life Stadium. You know, they kept changing the names. But when I was last there, they hadn't done the renovations yet. It was still the same way that it was when the Marlins were still playing there before the Lone Depot Park. So I'd be interested when I get down there to see it and how it is. But when I was there, it was really cool. I mean, it was for college football, though, not for a Dolphins game. So I think the Dolphins, when I get down there, I'm pretty sure the Dolphins have a home game either the week before the Winter Classic or somewhere around that time frame. I'd love to get tickets to go check out a Dolphins game there.
Yeah. Well, the only Dolphins game I've ever been to is a preseason game at Raymond James Stadium way back in 2011.
Okay. I think you had mentioned that on one of the streams one time.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Raymond James I like. Raymond James is a nice stadium. Good location, too.
Yeah, real quick, I just want to thank John for the 2.
Thank you, John.
Says Hamburger Hut.
Oh, nobody out hamburgers the hut. I love that guy. John's a good guy. Everybody on here, this is the other thing, since I'm here now. I know I mentioned this before, but I want to thank everybody, the moderators, the channel members, even those who are first timers on this channel. Thank you all so much for all your love and support. Thank you for all the super chats, for gifting memberships, for your contributions to the channel. And also when I put up my headlines and my trivia that I usually do every stream, thank you for all those who have participated in that. It's really cool to see people's reaction to that, and it's good reaction. So I love that. I'm going to continue that for next year.
So, hey, it's pretty awesome. It's just great to get to do these videos. Well, my dad does the videos, but it's great to engage on the live streams and have basically a whole community enjoy the games together.
Exactly. And what's to add on to that, Kyle, since you mentioned that, what I like about this, I may have told you this before, I forget. These are people coming from everywhere, all across the country, around the world. It's not just Florida where everyone's participating. It's, I'm in Chicago. I'm trying to think. Jameson's in Canada or Vancouver. I think Derek, if he's on here, he's in New Jersey. Someone's in Michigan. I can't remember. But it's great to know that there are Panther fans out there and not just in Florida. Well, and of course, you guys are in Maryland. You're from Florida, but you're in Maryland. So
yeah. So I'm not sure how long it's been since you joined the live stream tonight. I see a sizable queue building up. So yeah. First, I'll thank Derek for the 2.
Thank you,
Derek. And I'll give a big thank you to you, MJ, for all the support and for all the wonderful times on the live stream. And yeah.
You're very welcome. Yeah, I love this channel. I mentioned this is the best channel on YouTube. This is fantastic. This is probably one of the best communities ever. Well, the best community on YouTube for sure. And I'm honored to be a moderator / trivia night host / headlines deliverer, I guess you could say. So for everybody, thank you so much. And let's do this all again next year.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, MJ.
You're welcome. And goodbye to Jaws, by the way. When he comes back, tell him I say goodbye, and I'll see him again soon.
Yeah, I will.
All right, Stanley Cup champions. Woo!
Stanley Cup champions. I'm looking forward to the new hat.
Yes, me too. Me too. All right, have a good one. I'll see you. I'll talk to you later.
Let's see. Okay, I will go ahead. Up next is, let me see. Up next is JC. I'm not sure which one this is. I'll just say hello. Hey.
Hey, what's up? It's JC. How's everyone doing? All my back-to-back Stanley Cup champs out there.
Yeah, it's great. It's
I have a little guest with me here.
Oh, sweet.
I gotta get a second one. So I have a quick question for everybody. Where do we think that Marchand spends his day with the cup? Is it going to be at his house, also known as Scotiabank Arena? Would it be in Boston or at a Dairy Queen? Where do we think Marchand is going to spend his day at the cup?
Scotiabank Arena.
Yeah, that's his house. He owns that place.
Really?
Yeah, that's the Toronto Maple Leafs home ice arena.
Oh, that'd be funny. He might take it with him to. I don't know if he's gonna take it to Boston since, well, he's Canadian, right? When he take it back
correct.
That's a good question. Because Canadian players that play for a U.S. team, I have to assume they're allowed to take the cup.
Of course,
across the borders.
I would imagine he would take it back to Canada, but I'd see an article somewhere that they granted him permission in Boston to take it to Boston to go spend some time out there with it.
John says he's from Nova Scotia. So True says Marchand's wife and kids are in Boston. So it might be Boston. That would be the most hilarious outcome possible, is if he takes it back to Boston with him and he's hoisting the cup, but he's wearing the Panthers uniform.
Yes, that would be gold. Well, we do know he's a master troll. He's just, it's Marchand. So,
yeah.
And then speaking of Marchand and our free agents, like my heart wants all three of them to stay.
Mm-hmm.
But does any of us feel like maybe Marchand caught a little bit of lightning in a bottle? And would he really be able to consistently put up the numbers that we saw in the playoffs, seeing as he's aging a little bit more? So I don't know how we feel about that.
That's a good question because he's 37 and already, he started to decline a little bit from
correct with injuries and things like that.
So I have no idea if it's actually true that his camp wants $8 to $8.5 million for the next couple of years. That sounds a little high.
It's a bit high. So if you had to keep two, if you were in Zito's position, Kyle, and everyone in the chat, I think it was asked earlier, who are you keeping out of the 3 UFAs?
You got to keep Bennett. That is a core piece of our identity and a part of the core.
I'd keep Bennett and Ekblad. I would let Marchand walk. Personally, don't get me wrong. I love Marchand. Well, now, but I would stick with Bennett and Ekblad just because we drafted Ekblad, and then Bennett, like you said, he is a core piece of our identity and a big part of the culture down there. So those would be my 2 picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So how was it waking up for you this morning, knowing that you're back-to-back Stanley Cup champs?
It was pretty good. It was
all right.
It was a very wonderful feeling to know that the Panthers were not a fluke champion, and that the Panthers have the chance now to potentially three-peat.
That would be impressive and historic, to say the least. Which even this season within itself was completely historic. I mean, in spite of all the numbers that we put up, especially in the playoffs. But if we were able to three-peat, man, I couldn't dream up going back-to-back, so I can't even start to even think of dreaming up how to go three-peating in it. And then I do want to point out one thing, if I may, and this is in regards to like the Oilers fans and all the other fans, everyone who's come into the chat and during the live streams, thank you for joining. But if I can, to any Oilers fans that are out there, get off of Skinner. I honestly don't believe Skinner deserves everything that he's catching right now.
No, continue. I was just talking to.
Oh, okay. So I don't think that Skinner deserves all the flack that he's catching right now. Like, Skinner can't score the goals either. And in his defense, Bob did give up a few muffins, if we're being honest here, and his top left corner got exposed a few times. So I don't appreciate as a person in general and as a hockey fan, everything that's happening with Skinner and all of the blame falling on him, where you have 2 big names out there that didn't show up, and once those 2 guys were out of it, and credit to Lindell and to Barkov, who shut them down completely, where was the rest of that team, And then the other thing I want to mention about Oilers fans is just cry harder. It's about the officiating and all this. Kulikov had his stick held for 17 seconds and nothing was said. So enough with the officiating. Yes, officiating could have been better on both sides, but it is what it is. The better team won, and I think that's evident, again, just in the numbers that we put up in this cup run. It can't be denied. It really can't. So I think the best team won. Get off of Skinner's back. And then the last thing I do want to say is to everyone who contributes to this channel, like the MJs, the Donnas, the Great Whites, the Johns, everyone, Amanda, thank you tremendously. You give us a place to come to, and your contributions allow us to get together and have these more often. And to Kyle and Jaws, and to now include Miss Donna and Leia, who are officially part of this family. And the puppers better be in the house every game moving on out. But thank you guys for continuously showing up, even on the dog days. And I know it's been a couple of years since we've had consistent rants, which some of us might miss. But thank you guys for constantly showing up and doing all the streams. You give us a sense of community here and friendships that we can build and all of that. So I appreciate you guys truly. And again, everyone on this channel, all the new people, everyone who's joined, all the members, thank you. And hopefully you guys are back at it next season and ready to rock and hopefully get for that 3-peat. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So wait, now, one more thing. I got to order you guys another ring now. I got to send you a new ring.
That's right. Another ring.
Yeah.
And we both got to get new hats.
Oh yeah, I already saw that hat. I ordered the new one. I did order the Eastern Conference champ hat. Here, let me put that one on really quick. Just because I think it's
for the 2.
just a beautiful hat. So I had to order this one. And then I ordered the championship hat now.
I couldn't see this. So there it is. Oh, nice. That's a nice.
Yeah. So I got to wait for the championship one to get delivered. That one's really nice. So I can't wait. And yeah, so here we are. Oh, and shout outs from Dallas, Miss Florida. Wish I can be down there with you guys. I hope everyone down there is at the parade on Sunday representing. And hopefully we'll get out there next season and see a game and maybe meet with everybody and slam a few beers down.
So, hey,
there we go.
There he is.
I've been pounding the table. I've been over here jumping up and down in front of the camera for 10 minutes trying to get Kyle to add me while you're on here.
well, yeah. There's so many people here that his screen was
right
at the bottom, and I didn't realize there's
see me. That's why he was distracted. So
before anyone else says anything, thank you, John, for the 2.
Thank you, John. Thank you, bud.
He says our 4th line needs more credit. Nosek and Gadjo.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, they've been getting a lot of credit, especially even the commentators. They had to swallow that pill, especially everyone on TNT. They had to. They've been with their foot in their mouth since last night, and they're giving credit where credit is due. And it was completely annoying to listen to those commentators. So again, shout outs to Jaws and Kyle for calling the games, especially you, Kyle, trying to get most of the play-by-play done, because those commentators were brutal. But they are giving credit to the Gadjevich, the Noseks, and even rolling those guys where you had Boquist, you can slide in. And this team was so deep. We thought last season was insane, but this year's team was just special, dude.
And that's the thing with the free agents, that just depending on what we do, we might not have. I mean, we could legitimately have 0 turnover if it worked out.
If it worked out, but can't it?
In terms of the forward group, with the exception of when we would still lose Nosek, but remember Greer and Gadjevich are signed. So
yeah, correct.
And Boquist is signed. He can play 4C. Rodriguez could play 4C. So if we somehow find a way to pull off Bennett and Marchand, there's no room. There's no room for any. We don't even have enough spaces for the guys we already have. If we did that, if we didn't have to trade Rodriguez to do it or Boquist. So,
my heart can't trade Rodriguez to keep Marchand. I can't do it.
It's tough. It's tough.
I
want to thank Eyes Tonight for the 5.
Thank you, Eyes.
Says Jaws should have come on camera in character as Bill Zito.
That would have been hilarious. That would have been funny.
I got something coming that way. Now that I got my beard back down to the Zito beard.
I got to do that this weekend. Really quick, let me give you guys a new tour of the fandom since we moved to Dallas and made it up. So this is Goalie's Corner.
Wow. Thank you, John, for the 2. He says we need to sign Hamburger Hut. Thank you, John.
There's Bob's immaculate save.
Oh,
Wow.
hell yeah.
That is sweet.
Is that a diorama? Holy
Yeah.
shit.
So these are McFarlane pieces. I made the table and have them created and painted.
Man, that is something. How long does it take you to put up something like that?
The table took about 2 days, and note to self, don't paint it outside in the front yard, which I did, and I still have like squares that if you squint, it kind of looks like a German symbol. I won't say what. So don't paint anything on the front lawn, you know? But they take about between the curing and then if I'm Frankensteining pieces. So for like example, the Peter Worrell fighting there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Hold on.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh,
So that's actually, if you look at it, that's PK Subban's head.
Ah!
For obvious reasons. And then Gudis in the background is Brent Burns, because it's the only McFarlane piece that they ever made with a beard.
Gotcha. Oh, really?
So then, correct. So it takes about a week, 2 weeks, depending on how many pieces I'm either putting together or between the curing and painting and all of that.
Right.
Then we got some jerseys on the walls and all that.
Nice.
Then the other side, but I'm not done. We're under construction. We're getting new flooring in the main part of the house.
Right.
So please don't judge.
Yeah, no,
And then this is where eventually the couch and the projector is going to go.
Wow.
So we're not done yet. We still got some to go.
That is sweet, man.
Hey, John, thank you for the 2. He says, ask him if he has a Paul Laws jersey.
I don't, but I'm working on a Paul Laws figure though.
Oh,
but
nice.
I don't have his jersey. I wish I had Paul the Law jersey. What?
Yeah.
That would be insane. We got our signed Kachuk, because of course we got to have a signed Kachuk.
Exactly.
I have a
Did
question.
I see a 25 jersey on the wall over there?
Which 25? That one?
Yeah. What was that?
That's a Chari. So most of these are most if not all, are game-worn jerseys.
Gotcha.
So we got a Chari, and then we have a Vamos Gatos jersey that we did. And then
next to
Purcell.
Purcell. It's 26. Okay.
Purcell, then a Jovanovski signed game-worn jersey.
Nice.
Then a Jokinen jersey, a Beezer signed jersey. That's a Duclair's jersey.
Okay.
That's Lombi's jersey.
Wow.
God bless Lombi. And then some of my military ones that I still have. Then here, there's more in the closet. It's a bad situation here.
I hear you.
And then, so we have Weiss's game-worn jersey.
Nice.
Then we have a Robach game-worn jersey. I only got this one because it had the anniversary patch, so I had to.
Yeah.
Then transferring over here, that's Riley Smith on the Fernandez night that we did for the tribute. Steve Lorentz playoff jersey from Bob jersey, Barkov, Huberdeau game jersey.
Uh-huh.
This is the Hornquist issue jersey for the Stanley Cup, though he was injured, sadly, so this didn't get used, but it still counts because it's got the patch. So I'm trying to get this year's Stanley Cup jersey. Those things are going to be so ridiculously expensive, but fingers crossed. And Mammon, Cousins playoff jersey.
Nice.
This is a Bjorn foot. We got a Verhage, set 3 from the playoffs. Kulikov, Belinsky's, Connolly, and a Luongo 100-year anniversary game-worn jersey.
Damn.
Then shifting to this side, we have a Spencer Knight signed jersey, and then Spencer Knight's gear.
Wow.
And then some of his gloves and his blocker from that same set. A Luongo game jersey signed, a Mellenby signed, or Burry signed, practice jersey, Ekblad jersey game, and his pants.
Huh.
And then, because I love to laugh at these, and I trash them because I'll play with them, some game used Oilers gloves. but those really stink. And then a couple of sticks and stuff like that. And then the one thing I do have, I have two things that don't belong to the Panthers, but I just thought they were cool, is a Jonathan Quick used stick.
Right.
And a Patrick Hornquist bobblehead. So that was a gift sent for me from one of my friends that moved to Pittsburgh. Right. And then that's a bathroom, nothing special in there, just a shitter. So and then that's basically most of it for now. They're still under construction, and whatever the wife lets me buy here and there.
Gotcha. I like how you put that. Whatever she lets you buy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she knows now that in October I got to buy one of these Stanley Cup jerseys, and now by default I have to get another Stanley Cup, and I have to get another ring, and I have to send you guys another ring so you can each have one. So.
Oh, man. You don't have to do that.
I'm going to. I have to. You can. It's part of it.
Brother, I appreciate that, man. You know.
And then we had.
You notice.
Do have a. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. You notice I wore it during the season, but then came playoff time, I took it off because I wanted.
Because it's bad luck. It's bad luck.
Yeah. So nobody had to tell me. I was raised right.
I hear that. But then I do have a few things to send out for you guys, and you can do some giveaways for the channel. Is some signed 8x10s for you. That's and awesome. Then let's see, there's one here that I have to send you guys just because it reminds me of the 2 points call that we do. So I got to send you guys this.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
with the Let's Go Home, baby.
Very cool. Thank you, brother.
And then I do have a figure that I made for Kyle, so I got to be sending that out at some point.
Right. Okay.
So,
no, go ahead.
I just had one question. I saw one of those jerseys is the 90s yellow jersey.
The gold one.
The gold one. In a couple of the broadcasts of Panthers games, I have seen a yellow Panthers jersey, but with the leaping cat, but it has red shoulders.
That is probably a custom. That's probably a custom jersey that they made. Or somebody probably got it off of DH Gate, some site like that. I know this one, they never actually wore it on the ice, which is a shame. It was just a special edition they made for fans.
Yeah.
But what size are you, Kyle?
Well, extra large at minimum.
Yeah.
I'll put that in the box for you.
Holy shit.
I'll put it in the box for you. Oh, and I got a special one for Jaws. It's his favorite Panther of all time. Hold on.
Is that right?
It's his favorite Panther of all time that I'm sending you. So it's a special jersey.
Damn, bro, no way.
You
know what? That'll go well with the Trocheck and Uyghur.
I have a few here that I got to send you guys, man. And I know you guys don't have a gamer one, so I have one here to send you.
Oh man, that's too much. Damn, bro. Oh wow, Cicerelli, that's right.
So this wasn't used in a game. It's a team issued jersey, but they wore it during the night that they, I guess they honored them.
Yeah.
So I got a nice little care package here for you guys.
I appreciate that, brother. Kind of like Sam Iskevich had the jersey on last night, but didn't play.
Correct. So it's an issued jersey. They just don't use it.
Right. Where do they end up? Where do they end up selling those? At the team shop?
At the team shop, and again, I miss the days where you can get into the stadiums with a bag of Hostess bread or like 4 cans of beans, because the jerseys were like $200. Now you're looking at like $3-4 grand, $2,000 for jersey. Yeah, it's like the cheapest Stanley Cup jersey from last season was like $2,000, and it wasn't a game used one; it was one that was issued to a player.
Wow.
So it's all these resellers and people jumping on the hype train, so to speak, that are ruining it for collectors like ourselves who really just love the team. So,
Yeah, no,
but
I get it. I get it, man. That's
but
like
it comes
that,
with the
right?
territory, sadly.
Yep. Yep.
So,
So, all right, brother. I
But
wanted
yeah,
to jump on while you were here because I really
no
appreciate
worries.
everything.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Same here.
And
So,
seriously, thank you guys for everything. I can't say that enough. And everyone on the stream, thank you for everything, all the contributions. Thank you for all the chats. Ryan Ree, if you're out there, I'm sorry. It wasn't anything personal. But let bygones be bygones. We'll start over next season, all right?
there we go. Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, Ryan's he's a good guy. He's all right. You know.
Yeah, he has moments.
Yeah, everybody has their moments, right?
So yeah, man, thanks again for everything you two do, especially Miss Donna for hanging out with us last night and sacrificing going into work. I'm sure she's probably knocked out right now.
She's knocked out. She literally fell asleep in the middle of us texting about a half hour before the stream.
That's funny.
He's gone. Yep.
But again, thank you guys for everything. Thank you all in the chats, everyone who comes out. Like, you guys give me something to look forward to on game days aside the game. Just being able to hang out and talk to you guys it means the world to me. So thank you.
All right, JC, we'll chat with you later, okay?
All right, have a good one. Bye.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, brother. All right, Kyle, go ahead and take me off, and I'll be upstairs, okay?
Okay. How soon should I switch over to the next person? There's like 4 people waiting.
Yeah, just go ahead and take me off and go to the next person, and then I'll be up there in a couple minutes.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Hey, thanks again, JC, for everything. That tour of your collection is awesome, man. All right, so next up is Colin.
Hey, what's up? What's up? So this is the Roberto Luongo shirt that I did buy on eBay. This is like from 2016. I finally have something to add, but oh man, going back to back. I never thought in my entire lifetime, for all the teams I root for, that I would ever get to witness it again. Because when I was in middle school, the Heat went back to back. I was like, there's no way this is ever going to happen again. But oh man, well, I will. Oh, because this is a different background. This is like my mom's house. Because last year I was still at school, 3 hours. Was it like northwest here? So I'm at least happy about that. Like, hey, I'm about to finish college, and I'm gonna have 2 degrees, and Panthers won 2 cups while I was in college. But man, I hope one of the things I am hoping for, and I'm trying my best to do, is try to go to that Winter Classic game. Because hey, I live in Texas, man. I think it's about time that I get to experience the actual game for my team that I get to watch for once.
Yeah.
But it would be my second time at Lone Depot Park, because was it my junior year of high school when it was like 20? It was like they're celebrating 20 years, 25 years in Lone Depot Park. First time I ever got to visit there. So I don't know if they still have this or not, because this was like almost like 10 years ago now, as in crazy as it feels. But I know they have the bobblehead museum, little bobbleheads or whatever there. I don't remember where. I want to say it was somewhere out closer to where left field is at. But again, speaking of the Marlins, because now I actually am home and I got my own stuff in my own room. Yeah.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
Little Marlins, cap, even though they lost today as per usual. But
well.
But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how Kachuk played this entire playoffs with a torn abductor right off the bone. I don't know how you do that, man. I don't know how you do that, man. But
and also a hernia. Don't forget.
That too. I don't know how. I don't know.
It's hockey. Like, literally in 2023, if the Panthers had forced Game 7, they were going to throw Kachuk back out there with a broken sternum.
Yeah, but dude, I didn't even care yesterday that the Checkers lost. They lost. They got blasted in that third period. It was like 1-1 before the third, and next thing you know, they got blasted 6-1. I was like, damn, man, it ain't meant to be. But man, this is probably one of the more interesting off seasons that I've probably ever seen from probably any repeat champion. Because I mean, man, I don't know how many Marvel movies you watch, but it just reminds me of that scene in Avengers. Was it Infinity War where Doctor Strange is looking through all the different timelines and combinations? It's man, I don't even know how they're gonna keep Marchand, how much we're gonna give Bennett, or what we're gonna do with Ekblad. I don't even know, man. If you're up to me personally, you keep Bennett, you keep Ekblad, because having Seth Jones on that second D pair is really good, and it minimizes the problem on that third defense pair. But yeah, but I don't want to ramble too on, but I do appreciate y'all for what y'all do, streaming all the games every day, even when I was still playing Division III football for my 5th year. Being able to watch the beginning parts of games on my phone, and when I was eating dinner, and it didn't matter if it was a random Wednesday night game versus the Buffalo Sabres, or Friday or Thursday night game against the Boston Bruins or whatever. But I do appreciate y'all for what y'all do. I will say though, I did have to change the juju bit for what I did last year for this year, but I want to say it was around Game 3 to where I only purely watched the streams only, because it was a Toronto series. We were watching. It was pretty bad after those first 2 games of Toronto. I was like, man, I cannot, man. I gotta change it up, man. Me watching it on my laptop and up here, man, I gotta change it. So I watched the streams on my phone. Everything was smooth sailing then. Even
Dad, you're on. What? It's okay, Kyle?
Oh, I hear the echo.
Well, only if I'm talking to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then don't talk to me.
I really got a whole lot else to say besides the fact that I do appreciate y'all, what y'all do. I'll try to give some more creative ideas if I can out there to y'all. Because for people that don't know, I did come up with the idea for the Kachuk puppet, as you see right over there.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
I'll try.
I had the name, but sometimes I need a flick in the ear to hey, this would be a good idea.
But I'll try to come up with more creative ideas like that one, and the Panthers, some of the more obscure players like the, Val Burrier and Scott Mellenby and all of that. But yeah, well, I'm gonna wrap up here, and I'll catch y'all later at the news stream tomorrow. If I find anything interesting with the Checkers, whatever, I'll sure to send y'all.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Hopefully I can come back and tie the series, man.
That third period killed them.
Yeah. It's almost like they heard the Panthers were. Well, did it time out where they were still playing while the Panthers were winning?
I think they started at 10 o'clock. I would assume 10 o'clock Eastern time, 9 o'clock my time. But I don't even remember. Dude, I was just so happy we won. I was like, I don't care, man. They average for scored 5 goals in the third period. Who cares, man? They can score 10 all they want.
Yeah.
But that's all I gotta say.
All right, well, we appreciate
a
you
little bit more now than I did last year, but I appreciate y'all very much.
All right, bud. Take care.
You take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, I'll go off of here, and then I'll come finish up over there.
Okay, so I just want to read a couple of comments.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dean Jones says, hey, if you get Winter Classic tickets, get seats that are higher up so you can be looking down at the ice and have a better view of the playing surface. I went to the Vegas Golden Knights in Seattle one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, very cool. Good idea.
And Kazuma I actually had seen a brief clip of this. Alexander Barkov took the Stanley Cup on a 5 a.m. neighborhood tour, knocking on doors just to share the moment with his neighbors.
That's wild.
Imagine getting the knock on the door, and it's Alexander Barkov saying, "We won the Stanley Cup. Let's celebrate."
Yeah, that's what we need. We need Chucky showing up here with the cup. Come on, Chucky. Damn it.
So,
you say your peace out, and then I'll come finish this up.
Okay, so I am going to be signing off. Jaws will rejoin so that he can get to. It looks like John DeTonto, Riley, and Dietrich are all waiting for you, Jaws. So
very cool.
So yeah. It was great to talk to a couple of you guys, and JC, man, that collection is glorious. That diorama, yeah. So thank you everyone for all the immense support and all of the fun.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Okay. You got a couple messages in a private chat?
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
All right, kid.
Everyone take care.
Yep. Okay, let's see here. All right, let me just get going here. Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha. All right, come back over here. Okay. All right. All right, let's do this. We're in the third period now. And there we go. Hey, John.
Hey, Jaws, how are you, buddy? I know everybody's going to ask you how are you, but the feeling of winning this cup last year at this time, Jaws, it was like, who are we going to sign? This run could be 2 years, and we could all go out for next year because we don't know what the next year is going to be. Here's one thing. No matter what happens during this offseason, I guess God forbid we don't sign any of these three. We still got we still got Bill Zito. We still got Paul Maurice. We still got this ambiance. There's like no pressure playing for this team. It has to be coming from the players. I mean, Maurice said it. This is the best team he ever coached. He didn't win the Stanley Cup yet to make that kind of a thing, and he came off a Stanley Cup. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah. He's talking about team being better than last year. I mean, when you look at it, just by default, I mean, you love Montour, but you got Jones in his spot.
Oh, yeah.
And Tarasenko was good, but Marchand was just holy hell. I did not
like that. No, me neither. And again, we're talking about a Marchand that's coming off an injury leading into the playoffs. You're talking about Tkachuk that was injured coming into the playoffs. You're talking about Ekblad that was suspended 20 games. We were going to lose 2 games into the playoffs. Somehow, some way, something gets in their minds. And, so many things I just wanted to say. First, 315 games in 3 years, Jaws. That's the equivalent of almost 4 years of hockey in 3, plus the 4 nations. When is this team going to get some rest? And just like the other people say, I want to see them sign Bennett. Hopefully they'll sign him on Friday. That's his birthday right now. Sign Bennett. Hopefully going to retain Ekblad. But, Marchand, I don't care what people say about this age. This guy turns it on. He forgets how old he is and everything.
Yeah.
And I have to apologize to Eto Luostarinen because I was one of the people that would say, before Marchand got there and did something, I said, he's not the top 9 guy and top 3. I think he's holding Lundell back. He's a great penalty killer. He might have a great future. But when Marchand came, where the hell did all these points come from? And the chippiness. Yeah. And the chip he's willing to throw down and say, what the hell got into this?
Yeah.
So, I look at it as if we could get Marchand, and he's with that line is set. If we can get Bennett, then you could put Bennett with Tkachuk and any damn body, whether it be Erod. Last year it was Cousins. This year it's Samoskevich. Any damn body can blend in and play with that line as if they were in the league for 5 or 10 years and everything.
Yeah. I totally agree. And hopefully this year, you know how I feel about Samoskevich. Hopefully this time, Paul lets him stay in the playoffs. But I get it. I get why you can't question what Maurice did. We won the cup again, right?
Yeah.
Really question what he did. But I mean, when you just look at the roster up and down, if we can just sign our guys,
Right.
You need like one extra forward and an extra D man. I mean, like the worst possible spot on the team that we would have a need at would be at like 6D if you didn't want to trust Balinskis to go to the playoffs. You know what I mean? I mean, that's it.
I totally understand. And like you said many times, it's a great problem to have. People have said it before, JC, before me, and boy, your chat room is stacked just like the Panthers. I agree. I think Trey should have came in as Bill Zito because I think GM of the year. There's a lot of material, and Trey's got that kind of a mind that he could start saying, "Well, I'm gonna if I don't get the money that I deserve, you know, you could just think with the mind of Trey and a Bill Zito, there's like endless hysteria right there going on there." But I want to thank you and Kyle. Kyle's gotten so much better play-by-play. This isn't an easy sport and everything to do, and he's accelerated on that.
Yeah.
The members of the chat room, this channel, I hope you do write a book because I think there's enough material here, Jaws, for you to do so and everything, and we've been looking forward to that. And again, thank you for just letting me be a small part of this channel. I really look forward to your games. It's great to have something like this to celebrate, as well as as well as what's going on there on the ice. You guys are fantastic. Your channel keeps getting better, and again, nothing but continued success, Jaws. You're the best, man. Take care of yourself,
John. I appreciate that, brother. All right, very much. And we'll be here. We ain't going anywhere, and then we'll be right back at it next year. 10. Next year is 10. 10.
Ugh. 10 for 3. You got it, buddy.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Brother. Take care.
Take care.
Thanks, bud. All right. Okay, so we got a couple more. Here, let's move that. All right, here we go. We're going to move on to Riley here, and then we got Dietrich, and then I'm probably going to it'll be the first time I took a break in 2 days. No, I took a nap earlier. Hey, Riley, how you doing,
what's
bud?
up, man? Back to back. Let's go. Congrats.
Ain't that something, man? Ain't that something, right? Just, I was talking with Lucas for Rats on the Ice, and it's just like it's so surreal to be where we are at this point, man. It's just absurd. So how you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling great for you guys. I'm happy for you guys. I couldn't watch the game last night because I was in Sacramento for wrestling training.
Right. How's that going?
It's going good. I had my first ever professional wrestling match in a battle royale, and I won.
Hey, congratulations, Riley! Ain't that's awesome, man? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, what's your name? What are you going by?
The Assassin of Arundel, Riley McKnight.
Wow, that is outstanding, man. That is really cool. And what do you think in terms of wrestling? Like what's your move? What's your go-to?
My main finisher is the it's from a wrestler. I got it from a wrestler named Chris Jericho. They call it the Judas Effect in AEW, but I call it the Soul Eraser.
Wow. And so were you coming from behind him?
It's a spinning elbow, yeah.
Oh, it's a spinning elbow. Okay, I got you. Ooh.
And my submission finisher is called the Asuka Lock, but I call it the Night Trap.
Wow.
I got that from my favorite Japanese wrestler who wrestles for WWE, who just came back from a knee injury.
That's really cool, man. When I was a youngster, I was a black belt in judo, and they had it in weight classes, right? So I'm short, but I'm stocky, so I'd be 5'6", $150, and I'd be up against these guys, at those ages, they'd be 5'8", 5'9", $150 in my same weight class, you know what I mean? But they'd be too tall for me. And I had my throw was Tomoya Nagi. And that's basically when you just get them a little bit off balance and you stick your foot right in their belly, and I go on my back and I throw them over my head. And it worked like a charm because they just assumed that they could kind of get in on me a little bit easy, just coming at me because they were taller, and I would just use their momentum against them and let them come at me, and I just flip them right over my head, man. So
that's cool.
Yeah, man, it was a good time. It's a good time. Now, how long you been working on that?
I've been working on it for about 3 years, and when I found out that I was gonna be in talks to be put in the battle royale, I'm like, okay, I've got to learn how to get over the top rope, which was very hard.
Right.
But once I got that down and I got a workout planned up from a friend of mine who's also a wrestler who is 48 years old and started at 45.
There you go. Well, and then, but you win your first match, right? Right? You won, right? Yeah. So, I mean, that is just spectacular, man. That is cool. So what do you think about this hockey team? You think we can get 3 straight?
I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Right, yeah, right. The only problem would be, where am I going to put the third sign in the recap room, right?
Well, it's up to you where you do it, but
yeah,
who knows?
Maybe I'd have to hang it behind. I have to hang it behind Kermit or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to have to widen the angle and fix it up a little bit, because there's just too much stuff now to have it just be with the little. The one sign, last year's Stanley Cup sign is only halfway in the picture. So we're gonna, we're gonna work on a lot of things during the off season. We're gonna rearrange the whole downstairs so Donna has a real chair to sit in.
I'm really hoping you guys re-sign Sam Bennett.
Yeah, I feel real good about signing Bennett. The question after that's going to be Ekblad and or Marchand, but I kind of figure Bennett's just basically a done deal, somewhere between 8.5. That would be my guess. You know what I mean? And look, we have the money to do that. We have the money to not lose Sam Bennett, no matter what somebody's going to try to pay him. The problem is trying to at least keep Ekblad as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a problem, because Ekblad's been the heart and soul of the Panthers for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
And I really love how Barkov did a whole neighborhood tour.
Right?
Because if that was me, if I was living there, I'd be like, huh, what is Alexander Barkov doing here? I'll be like, is that the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, yeah.
I would be like, cool. And I do think with this team, how they're going to do very well is because of their goaltending.
Yeah, and I mean, Bubba's he's going backwards in age. You know what I mean? I mean, he just continues to get better. And look, a lot of times athletes, if they've had good health over their career, they can kind of reach an apex of, they still have the athletic ability, but now they've kind of got the mental part of the game as close to perfected as they can. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing with Bobrovsky, is he's just locked in. He's just locked into this groove, and we'll just ride it out as long as we can, right? There will eventually be a day when, I mean, we were worried. Toronto's up 2-0. We're losing that game 3-1, and I'm lifting for the goal that Toronto just scored to make it 3-1, and I'm pointing at the championship flag behind me, and I'm saying, well, they can't take that away from us. I kind of
they cannot.
I thought we might be, teetering there, but since that point in that game, in that series, with the exception of a couple of the blown losses to Edmonton, we just rolled, man. We just rolled.
I literally thought it was going to go to 7 games again.
Yeah.
Because of how both Edmonton and Florida play. And I knew that Vegas wasn't going to win once I found out they're facing the Oilers. And I got something cool to show you.
Sure, what you got?
I went to a Hurricanes Sharks game in San Jose.
Uh-huh.
And I got this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Now it's a
warm-up.
Yeah, no, but let me see it again. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice looking puck, man.
I believe it was Jackson Blake who gave me it.
That's cool. Did he flip it over the glass for you?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's always cool. That's good. Good job. You got to get a little stand for it, little puck holder.
Yeah, I plan to soon.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy for you guys. I felt bad for you guys when we beat you in 2023.
Yeah.
But if you guys win another, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Very cool, man. Well, hopefully it's not against your team. I don't want you to go through that again. You know what I mean? But you guys won one, lost one, so it is what it is, right? Yeah.
And my Predators have been through that too, so I understand.
Yep, it happens. So, all right, brother. Appreciate all the support over the years, buddy. We'll see you during the summer, and then next year, same place, same time for the 3-peat championship celebration.
Go Cats, go!
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Roddy. Take care, bud.
Thanks, Eric. Love you.
All right. Love you too.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So let me just take a sip. We got one more here with Dietrich. All right. Poor Donna, man. She crashed out. She's gone. She was sitting in her chair. We were texting, and I sent another text and just crickets. I'll get a text at like midnight. Go, I fell asleep. Hey, Dietrich, how you doing, bud?
Hey, Eric, Jaws, what's up, man?
Oh man, life is good right now. Life is good. Ain't this a piece of work, huh?
You know, we've been hearing so much against this team for like from day one of the season starts, that it was a fluke, all that stuff from day one of the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, everyone had us picked, right? And who chose us from besides us? Yeah, that's right.
But how could I not? Right? It wasn't like a prediction. It was more like I'm afraid of what they're going to say to me if I don't pick us to repeat. You know what I mean? It's like I had to pick. It's my job. I got to pick us.
You know, I love the good fans on the other side, though. Like, you got Gretzky. Clearly, he wants the Oilers. He lives here, though, so he kind of like rooted for us, but he can't publicly do it. You know, but he does live here in the Treasure Coast, and he goes to the game on occasion. You know, is wearing the suit for the Leafs. You know, come on, we got to accept it. But you know, going with that, it seemed like mainstream media was just like what the Panthers are saying, us against the world, right? Yeah,
and look, I mean, teams, you know, it's hard to repeat, right? So it's kind of like the safe pick for the media would have been somebody else, especially since we'd already been to 2 straight finals.
Come on, we got to think about being the last seed against. You know, I mean, come on, that Verhaeghe overtime, that game, Game 7 against Boston is probably my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, that was. I still have in the stream room downstairs. We have the one couch that we sit on. And behind us, there's another couch that has a bunch of stuff on it. And for game 5 of the Bruins series, I brought out about a half dozen of these flags. And I assumed it was the last game of the year. Season was over. So I had them ready to give away after the game. And we've been winning ever since. The flags are still on the couch. I haven't touched them.
You can't I
know.
break the seal.
No, they're just sitting there. I've cleaned it up and I was like, what do you want me to do with the flag? I'm like, don't touch those. Don't touch those. They're stacked up. They're right there. That's where they stay. And then it's at some point in the long distance future when we actually don't win the cup, then maybe we'll
give away. All right, give away.
Right? It's like we'll give it away then. But for right now, those flags stay right there because
how did we win that game? Was that an overtime game? I don't remember how. I remember that Kachuk said, "We'll be back. We'll be back."
Yeah, because that was they had the 3-1 lead in the series. And then Marchand had the breakaway with 5 seconds left, and Bubba stopped them.
And Ekblad almost snuck it in too. Right?
And then Ekblad almost put it in. Right. And then yeah. So we ended up, you know, that was game 5. We went game 6, and then game 7 was overtime. Yeah. That the whole Verhaeghe and overtime thing is like, I don't think I could recreate that moment because it was so unexpected. And, I was excited that Verhaeghe had won it in overtime, but I had forgotten in the season preview that I said the Panthers would win in Game 7 with Verhaeghe in overtime.
Josh, how could you do that against the
right?
They still have the record, right?
Yeah. And so that it sounds like I'm excited we won, and I am, but I was realizing in that moment, wait a minute, Verhaeghe in overtime. It was like all hitting me at once. That's why I'm with the flag, and I just lost my
Cats and 6. You just called it too. 5-1. We already heard that too.
Yeah. Well, the puppets, they know things.
I was gonna ask for the puppets. I have it here. I was like, but I know that like you were changing rooms and stuff like that. But I am the Bubba.
Yeah, I gotta get they make puppet stands, so I'm gonna get a couple puppet stands so that I gotta rearrange the whole recap room because there's just so much stuff that I got that you guys have sent me that I can't display. And of course now I gotta make room for the second sign, and I don't like that the first one's like half cut off, so gonna definitely change some things up. We gotta redo the downstairs room so Donna has a real chair to sit in. We're gonna have a funeral for my recliner because it's been dead for 2 years. I killed it during the Boston series. I killed it.
Bury it next to the nightstand, please.
And since that series, I have my 25-pound weights underneath the recliner because if I don't put those there to support it, when you sit in it, you just flip completely back. But we keep winning, so I'm like, well, I'm not going to replace the chair. So, but now we got a 2-peat. I kind of have no choice but to do it. So I talked to Fluffy. He approved the changes. So
those recliners get like that over age. They don't start like that.
No, man. So other than that, I guess I'll just ask you before I let you go because the voice is getting ready to go on me here.
Yeah, of course. I'm starting to celebrate. I didn't celebrate last night. I was holding it off until
right.
Yeah.
So, if you could only have 2 of the free agents, which 2 would you want?
We lost E2 in the last game versus Carolina that we won. That Chuck made that, so we didn't have E2 versus Vegas in that run.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're giving that Lundell and E2 enough credit. And we are giving. I love Marchand. I hate Marchand, but I hate him. But he's not. He's our son of a bitch, as they say. He's a son of a bitch. But he's our son of a bitch. So I can see him going to a team like Ottawa, Vancouver or something like that. I would love him to go to Ottawa. I would love to keep him, but I don't think we can. So clearly it's going to go with Ekblad, even though with his age, I love to hate Ekblad. Like I love to give him the middle finger for blocking you.
I know, right?
All that stuff, and he's so easy to blame when he just makes the silliest mistakes. But he's so pivotal in the Panther forecheck. He fits the system so good.
He's gotten better.
But his knees, he's broken in a sense. He's kind of out of there. So that's a really good question. I'm gonna have to add that to that, and I'm gonna say I would rather keep Rodriguez. Rodriguez and Bennett and
Ekblad.
I would love Marchand to stay. I don't think it's possible though.
He would have to take like a pittance.
I gotta ask you though. I've been saying it in chat over and over, so I gotta throw it out there. I can see McDavid. I'm throwing it out there. I can see him as a Ranger more than any other team. They have that market where with this. He would blow up there like as a superstar more than he got that goalie, but I don't see that supporting cast. Where do you see McDavid if he doesn't re-sign?
To be honest with you, Trey's idea about him in Montreal don't sound like the end of the world. You know what I mean? Because they got a good young team, a lot of energy. But I think McDavid, if he is going to leave, he's going to have two requirements: contender being one, and a goalie being number two. Because I think
16 million, right? 60?
I think more than anything, if McDavid is sick and tired of something, it's not having the proper goaltending. Because you look at this series here, Florida scored at least 2 goals in every game in the first period. And like yesterday's a prime example. Edmonton was kind of all over us the first 5-7 minutes, right? And Bob is making save after save after save after save. And then Skinner gives up one. And it's like, and the game's over. You know what I mean? And that could easily have been in reverse. If we give up a couple of goals to Edmonton, right, in the first 5-7 minutes, because, Bob lets in a couple of softies, it can completely change the complexion of the game. And I just think with this series, with the way that the Oilers goaltending was in the first period, especially, then it's on McDavid immediately, every period. And now they have to, try to come back. So I think that, and the Rangers obviously have the goalie. Right?
Who has the best goalie after though? I mean, you rank goalies. I don't want him to go to Tampa, but I mean, and I think
no, I don't think. Well, I mean, I think Vasilevsky. Tampa's done him a disservice they've overplayed him, and it's so obvious now. The last few years, he gets to the playoffs and he's not the same guy, and I think part of that is because they don't ever have a real good backup that can take, 35, 37 games off of him. He's playing.
And it's not fair to Bassey. As much as I don't want to give them excuses or reasons. Yeah, I really don't. Obviously, I live here in South Florida, and Tampa fans, they're assholes to us.
Well, but I do wonder if that's what because Montreal would have the cap space, and they'd be an up-and-coming team.
Or so do the Rangers, though. And I'm just trying to think of like superstar potential. Where does Bettman want McDavid? I think Bettman probably. I'm going to go the dangle and throw the conspiracy theories out there. He may have a save. So I want him to go to a Canadiens. They were the last team to win the cup for
right.
Well,
I just don't know if I'm McDavid if I trust the Rangers management. You know what I mean? I just don't know. I just don't know if I'll make David if they trust the Rangers management. So real quick here. Hey, thank you, John. Thank you, John, buddy. Hamburger Hut. Thank you, bud. Much appreciated. Can't take the hat off because of the headphones, but thank you, brother.
Well, Jaws, thank you for having me on. Thank you. I've always wanted to have a one-on-one powwow. This is as close as it is. And, next time you come here to the game, last time I was a bit sick. I couldn't go. But next game, I hope to, meet you and your family there.
All right. Yeah, man. We're trying to make it so that we can come in January and stay as long as we can. So
that's awesome. Yeah, this is the best show. I listen to you, during lunch breaks and stuff like that. It's just, you're such a great fan for us, or a great, support for us fans.
Yeah, man. We all created this community together, so we ain't going anywhere. Next year's year 10.
That's awesome.
At least now I don't have to do this until I'm 95 like Dangle before we win a cup.
Yo, and then eventually on your other channel with Donna, I do want to hear, you did mention some masseuse. You had some fucking stories.
Yeah. Definitely.
There,
I can definitely get into that. Yeah.
Right on. Okay, good.
Yeah. All right, brother. We'll chat with you again soon.
All right. All your fans, and thank you, Jaws, and your whole entire family, and Donna. Awesome. Go Cats. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, Dietrich. Talk to you later, bud. Okay. All right, so we got Michael, we got Adonis, and then that's gonna do it because my voice is going. So I got Michael, then we're gonna do Adonis, and then I'm gonna go take a couple hits. I'm not even gonna pretend that that's not what I'm gonna go do. That's exactly what I'm gonna go do. Hey, Michael, how you doing,
Jaws,
bud?
what's going on? It feels like it was yesterday, the last time I was on here.
It's just something else, man. This is just going to be the annual Stanley Cup Championship celebration stream.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I don't want to keep you long. Unfortunately, we talked about it a few weeks ago, but I'm on like this 96-hour work week, so I got out of work, went straight to a Dairy Queen across the street, got myself one of those chocolate chip cookie dough blizzards in honor of Brad Marchand. Got home and I literally crashed out. I just woke up maybe 10 minutes ago, and I was like, "Oh shit, it's already 9:30." But no, like I said, I know your voice is gone. I didn't want to keep you too long, but unfortunately, I got a puppy here that's being a real POS.
Yeah. Oh my God! Look at. Oh my God! He's so adorable.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what's
yeah?
his
No,
name?
like I said, Brie, like the cheese. She's about 10 months old, and
wow,
she's been my good luck. Like Fluffy was our good luck the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But game. I want to say it was game 2 when Marchand got that double OT winner. I was watching the game from my computer, my little cave here. Every time I would watch it downstairs in my living room on the TV, they would always lose. So when I started watching it from my little office here, they would actually, win a game. So I started watching it exclusively up here. But that game 2 where Edmonton kind of dragged it to the double overtime, I stopped watching the game because I was so irritated that Florida blew that lead. And her and I were just laying in my bed, and I remember looking at her, and I'm like, "Can you give us some good luck?" And she crawled up my arm and just put her head right on my chest. And then 30 seconds later, Brad Marchand scored, and what a time that was. But I think I scared the crap out of her when I screamed.
That brings up a memory, man. I used to, in the middle of the period, I go up to Fluffy and ask for Fluffy luck.
Like I said, it's nuts. I was also thinking about Fluffy when I was asking her for good luck. So, but man, like it's nuts. Last season, I was actually transferring from my boat out of Connecticut, and I was visiting my wife in Norway for the summer. So I was having to watch the game because, like I said, the game starts at 8:00, and Norway's 6 hours ahead. So I was having to watch the game in the middle of the night.
Middle of the night, man. That's rough.
Oh my God. It was early morning, I guess, but no, it was crazy. Like I said, my wife's been gone for about 6 months now. She actually just finished up her interview in Sweden for her green card, so she should hopefully be here in the next couple of weeks. Thank God. But she left back in January, and I've been having to deal with this nutcase. And then, like I said, my command has been on like this 96-hour work week schedule, and it's just been awful. But
that's right. That's a lot at once, man. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, you know how the military is.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. There's you have a mindset, right? But you know, from the outside, even though I've been in the military, so I know what it is, it's still like from the outside, you're like, damn, I remember that. I used to have dreams, nightmares, I guess I would call them, that I was back in the military, and they had me in Alaska, and like the whole nightmare would be like, I got to get back to the dogs. What am I doing here? I got to get back to the dogs, man. So I get it, especially with that many hours of work, man.
But no, I just wanted to see what you thought about the whole cast race. I know you made that video that I watched about Marchand and Bennett, and I don't know. I heard you guys talking, but somebody was saying that Bennett was chanting 8 more years in the locker room when they were celebrating. But
they were at the elbow room. In fact, I got a short on the channel because I found the video on Twitter. And he's chanting. The whole crowd, and Bennett was there with him, chanting 8 more years. To me, I think the Bennett thing's a foregone conclusion. Whatever it's going to be between 8 and 9 million, I think that's going to be a done deal. Now, then you get into, I mean, technically, if we wanted to just pay Bennett, pay Ekblad, and just forget about Marchand, we could. We have enough money for the most part to do that. But I think what Zito is trying to do is somehow sign all 3 and you saw the video. Yeah, we could trade Rodriguez if we wanted to do that, but man, it's such a tough call to trade him.
Yeah, but
Because he's
I
been
feel
part
like
of both.
if you traded Erod, you'd be like almost breaking up the band, right?
Right.
And
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. Like as much as I would like to keep. I mean, my dad's a Canadiens fan, and I grew up. He's from Western Mass, so it's funny because I lived in Massachusetts for about like 6 years of my life. My dad's from Western Mass. All my uncles and cousins are from Western Mass. But I grew up hating the Bruins because my dad was a Canadiens fan.
Gotcha.
So I grew up. I remember when I was probably 8 or 9 years old. I remember my dad saying that he wanted to flip because of his nose. He wanted to flip Brad Marchand over and ride him like a surfboard. So like I said, I grew up hating Brad Marchand. So when he came to the team, I was like, oh boy. And my dad was like, gross. I can't believe you like that guy now.
Right.
But
Now,
I said it earlier. I think it was today's stream or yesterday's stream. I feel like we could develop Samoskevich into that replacement of Brad Marchand. I feel like Samo has better hands. He's definitely faster. He's younger. He's taller. If he put on even 10 pounds, I mean, he could be. I mean, I don't remember how much you said. I think you said he was like maybe 180, 190, and he's what 5'11". So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it's about right. Yeah. I mean, sure, no doubt, no disagreement there. And don't forget, we got Sordiff as well, who's been kind of ready. It's a tough line it's a tough line when you're trying to win cups, while you also got some young guys that are probably ready. Got to sign Bennett. I'd really not like to lose Ekblad. And then I think for a while we kind of said, sign Bennett, sign Marchand, and have Ekblad take what's left. And I think in the reality, it'll probably be sign Bennett, sign Ekblad, and then tell Marchand, we can give you 3. That's what we can do, right? Or the only other thing that we could do is like if we wanted to go kind of the Keith Yandel route a little bit, and like give Marchand like 8 years, but at $2 million, and then know that after like 3 or 4 years, we're just going to be buying them out and having like $1 million cap hit for all of the remaining years. That's
what I was going to say. I liked that idea. I know you talked about that, I think earlier today, where we pay him not a ton of money, but we pay him for a long time.
Right.
But also, I don't want to sound ungrateful because, like I said, I mean, I was screaming Marchand's name, God knows how many times in here, probably waking up my neighbors. But I don't, other than for like the Toronto overtime goal, and then obviously in the finals, I don't want to sound ungrateful. Like, what else did he really like? Yeah, he definitely developed, that third line with Lundell and Luosterainen, but.
Well,
I don't want to sound. I know he contributed, and he contributed a lot, and that's why we're having the conversation of we want to keep him. But I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be too. I want to keep him, but I wouldn't be too upset. I think it was ESPN was talking about it, and they were kind of really saying how effective Ekblad was on defense. So I'd rather keep Bennett, obviously. And Ekblad, and then I would like Marchand to stay, but I don't. I mean, even that female host on TNT asked him like, "Are you going to stay?" And he's like, "We'll see." So he didn't seem too pressed to want to stay.
Yeah. I mean, he's trying to be considerate of. He knows there's other guys who need contracts that have been on the team, and he doesn't strike me as a guy that wants to take somebody's job. So like what we're talking about with trading Rodriguez and all of that. But we'll see. We're going to find out. That's the best part about this. Is we're going to find out soon.
Well, Ekblad, there are people saying that Ekblad was saying that he wanted to retire Florida Panther. So I could see him maybe taking off $1 million or $2 million on his contract just because of the whole suspension, and then he definitely in the earlier in the playoffs he was looking a little rough, but I mean I would hope that he would want to take that team friendly contract to maybe re-sign Samo, re-sign Bennett because Bennett, 8x8 at least.
At least, yeah. Yep.
So, but we'll see.
All right, brother. Michael, appreciate it all, man. Love having you on the stream.
It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, man. Much appreciated, and I hope things work out. Hope you get to see your wife soon, man.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. Family. I know, and you got a support system. You want them there, man. You know what I mean? So I'll be looking forward to hearing that. So, all right, man.
Love you, brother. Appreciate it.
Love you too, brother. We'll see you again soon.
See ya.
All right. Yep, Leah. Okay. So I'm going to go with Adonis here, and this is it. Then I turn into a pumpkin. Hey, buddy. What is that? Let me see that. Hold on a second. Wow.
Take your time.
You got Marchand. That for Hagee.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that? Man, hold on a second.
You're there.
Oh, there's Mikkola.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see the numbers. Who's
close.
that in them? Okay, so there's Luosterainen, Balinskis.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And is that Bennett? Is that a 9 there?
I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. I do not know, but I think it's Jacoby Megna, which is the weirdest selection of all time. But I think it's Jacoby Megna because I'm looking at it now. I think it's supposed to be a 6.
Yeah.
Where it's straight on his shoulder, and Bennett doesn't have like black hair.
Yeah,
so.
that's why I was saying it didn't seem. Oh, Bennett doesn't have hair. Period.
He's bald. Yeah.
Right.
Mr. Obvious right here. Yeah.
Where did you find that?
I got it at the Iceplex in Fort Lauderdale.
No joke.
They sold it online, or online, Jesus, and physical copy. Like they sold it there at the store, pretty much.
Real is saying, isn't that the group of guys that were at their first DQ outing?
I think it was, yes.
Okay.
I think that's what they were going for because I think it was Megna in Carolina with them on the trip. I believe so. That's what it was based on. But
that's wild, man.
I love this shirt, man. It's so awesome. It looks. My mom says it looks good on me, so I mean, can't complain.
That's sweet, man. Yeah. What
How you doing though? How you doing?
Hey, man. I can't believe I'm doing this again. Like, I mean, because this is the same laptop I've been doing the videos on for a couple of years. And when you when you go to save a file name, if you got something similar, right, it'll show up. So it's like I'm putting in the file names and I had to rearrange it a little bit because I was getting all of last year's Panthers and Oilers Stanley Cup Finals videos in my file names. And I just I don't believe this, man.
This goddamn computer,
It's just wild. So,
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I can't believe it. This is real life, and I'm just way too blessed to have this. I don't know. I can't thank anyone but God, and I believe in God. And I pray every day to God.
Hey,
Zabrowski said, "All praise to the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit."
Yep. And then I think somebody said he was working out again today or something. I don't know. I think that was on Spittin' Chicklets. I think they might have been being a little bit hyperbolic or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Okposo, I remember Okposo last year when he won the cup. He was on Spittin' Chicklets and he had a little snippet where he mentioned how Bob loves to get pucks thrown at his face in practice. Like he gets hyped about it and energizes him and motivates him that much more.
Wow.
And just how Bob just is that much of a presence in the whole locker room. And I just think it's amazing that he has not missed a single step. And if not, he's gotten better in his ages, man. Which, I mean, I think that will be probably the biggest priority is seeing if he can be the guy going forward. And I believe him because he's the man. I love Bob. We all love Bob.
I mean, and that's something we haven't been talking about at all is getting him an extension.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And looking at that, and I've been saying it since for forever that this year that I really kind of felt like we would do the extension during the summer so that we wouldn't have to go into next season with the questions of, is Bob going to be back? Are we going to re-sign him? Kind of how we've had discussions with Bennett and Ekblad and all of that. So, and also, especially if you're Zito, you're going to want to know, well, what kind of money do I have moving forward?
Exactly.
In terms of
the team can't be more like cap strained. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I may be completely way off base, but if I'm in Zito's shoes, I'm thinking I'd like to at least talk to Bob and maybe get the extension knocked out before I even sign Bennett and Marchand and Ekblad or anything, because you kind of want to know, Bob, you want to take $7 million,
that, basically,
right? Yeah, you kind of want to know what that money is going to be in a few years. So whether or not that happens or not, I can't imagine.
I just swear to God, I hope it's the cap is raising up, so it's going to be a good contract. That whole BS, like when Jacob Chikrin signed that 8-year, $9 million, it was like, oh well, the cap's going up, so it's going to be a good contract. That's not really a strong argument there. I mean, you could say that, but I mean,
that's what they told us about Mike Matheson.
Really?
Yeah, that was how Talon sold the Mike Matheson contract. Boy. Was that he was going to grow, it was going to age well. That we might be overpaying now, but trust me, bro, in 4 or 5 years, it's going to be a bargain. Yeah.
If there was ever a milk an take that's aged like milk, it's probably the number one reference right there. Mike Matheson, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's not good. I mean, he's last year, if none of you knew this, but he was like the only defenseman on Montreal that was logging like 23 minutes a night, top power play unit. And he was just logging points on that, because then he's terrible defensively. He's not very offensively talented. I'm not trying to hate on the guy. It's just he's not a number one defenseman. They're looking at Lane Hudson to be that guy, and Mike Matheson just kind of rode the boat. Even the playoffs, he did kind of get exposed for like who he is.
Yeah,
really.
Unfortunately, I mean, he was highly touted as a pick, but just didn't pan out for him. He had some offensive ability. He's not terrible, right? But I just don't think he ever. I'm not so sure about his mental hockey IQ. It's probably you know what I mean. And he gets himself in a little bit of trouble because he's got such good skating ability that he can kind of,
confidence maybe, or
he kind of thinks he's a little bit more Cale Makar than he might be. You know what I mean?
No, I see that. But I just think that I think the biggest priority is going to be the Sam Bennett contract. Like, are you going to get him at 8x8, 8.5? He's not going to Toronto. Like, I'm not falling for any of that BS.
I mean, it's and that is a prime example of when I say the Toronto fan base gets gaslit. Right? Because I mean, why would Bennett want to why would he do that now? And what's interesting about it is that on one hand, they're arguing about how we can get the guy for 8 because it would be like 10 million in Toronto because of the taxes. And then saying that he's going to take the 10 million in Toronto. It's like, which argument are we going by?
Can't make it up. Can't make it up.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll say this. I am one of Ekblad's haters because I do think he has very obvious deficiencies in his game. He's a little bit, his processing, I think, is a little behind. And last year, he actually got better at this, but last year it was so atrocious how many times he lost the puck behind the net. And it was like, he thought he could just edge the guys over, and then he completely loses it on his own. And then there's like the Boston game 1, it led to like Pasternak having like a primate chance, and it went off the post or something. And then also the Rangers, which is even more embarrassing because they are not aggressive forechecking at all, because it's the Rangers. But he even got a chance off of that, and he's very obvious flaws, and I feel bad because I don't want to crap on the guy. Seems like a great dude. It seems like a very vocal leader in that locker room, and a lot of guys can get behind him. And he's also, I mean, he seems like a really chill guy, his attitude and whatever. But, I think he can have a place in the future, and that the leadership ability is the main integral part. But then also, Paul Maurice was using him more as a power play quarterback with Jones more often And then in previous years, when he broke his leg and was, finally developing as a number one offensive defenseman, whatever, and then he's just been like stagnant or even just declining his production basically since then.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into the whole steroids BS. That was pretty awful that he did. It was dumb as hell that he didn't. I mean, I'm not going to speak on his behalf. I'm not that kind of guy, but you gotta be better than that, dude. Like, you're this much of a liability. I mean, it's a big, big hit on your reputation. And
sure,
I thought when Seth Jones came in that, Bill Zito must have known about these drugs or whatever he's taking, and he has to cover it up and have a solution at right defenseman because every single other defenseman would be a lefty, which is pretty hilarious to me. But Seth Jones, I can complain that he was not as retained his contract as much as I would like. I don't think he's awful with 9.5. Chicago is a bad team. No offense to Chicago fans, but you're just a disjointed mess right now, and he's just not the right guy to be there. So but he's fitting seamlessly. It's crazy.
No, I know
how many Bill Zito, all his moves except the Ben Sherrod, which I hated that deal, that was a terrible deal. But he's forgiven. He's forgiven. He's got 2 cups. So. But it's just insane. The integrity he has to this organization, and that every single one of these pieces he gets, there is some value in them. It's not just fill in the gaps when you need to. It's something that he truly believes in them. Where Tomas Nosek was, in after the Vegas series, where Paul Maurice and Bill Zito admitted we gave up way too many goals in these playoffs, and we need to be better than that. We have to. And they get more power play penalty killers like Kevin Stenlund, who I really like. I really liked Kevin Stenlund a lot, but
he
just kind of cashed out. He kind of cashed out, and I love what he's doing in Utah. I mean, Utah Mammoth. I think he's gonna have a great place as a bottom sixer there. But I think it was just a big, big sign of development of him as a general manager that he recognized all the issues that he did, and he learned from those mistakes. Like. The Claude Giroux. I mean, Claude Giroux was a great help, but it just wasn't. It was too much for him. And then Ben Sherrod was bad, but he just learned from everything, and he's just been flawless since then. It's unheard of. And
hopefully he'll get GM of the year finally.
He's going to, because when you really think about it from a logical standpoint, not an emotional fan standpoint, the Jets GM had a pretty bad deadline. I'd say he bought like Brandon Tanev, like a second round pick, and Braden Shen, who's a number 6 defenseman for like a third round pick. He just didn't do any moves to improve the team. And then Jim Nill, like the farthest you got, and I get it's Pete DeBoer is being a psychopath, calling out his goalie and saying it's his fault, but you got to get farther than the Western Conference Final, my man. I mean, it's not all your fault, but you still got to be better than that. And he didn't address right-handed defensemen for the Dallas Stars, which was the biggest issue with them, and kind of lost in the series as they don't have a good right-handed defenseman. So, but then just Bill Zito identified every single need and hit on every single one of them. Which is really what my case of why he's going to win it. And
I agree.
He was nominated last year. He finished like 2nd or 3rd, but he won the Cup last year and he won the Cup this year. I think that's enough of a
by default. That should be enough. Right?
Absolutely, yeah. But I don't even know how Jim Neal won it last year, but I'm not gonna, congrats to him, whatever.
Bygones. All right, brother. I'm gonna roll. I still got a couple of people left here. We're gonna do. Real quick. We're gonna do a speed round with a couple of these guys.
Just wanted to quickly say, thanks for everything you do, and it's great being a part of this community. And when I was in college, I just had my first year of college, and kind of just tuning into your streams whenever I could to watch games. It was awesome.
Very cool.
Very cool. It was great, man.
All right, Adonis, I appreciate it, man.
All right, brother.
Good to see you. And
you've been great.
All right, we'll see you again soon.
We'll see you, man.
Bye. All right, real quick here. Hey, John, we need Hamburger Hut. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, bud. I'm just checking on the chat here real quick. Hey, there's another John. Ask him if he has a Paul Laws jersey. Were you talking about JC? Wait a minute. This is an hour behind. Wow. Okay, hold on. That's weird. The chat just like completely froze up on me. Okay. All right. That's weird. Okay. So real quick here. real quick here. We're gonna get to John and Jay Chuck, and then that's it. On my voice, I'm not gonna have to talk anymore. Hey, John. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about you, man?
Oh man, hey, buddy, how you doing?
That's Charlie.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, my brother Jasper. He calls him Chuck.
Hey, Chuck.
Anyway, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Last night was just incredible.
I know it, man. I know it. It's still surreal to do it twice. You know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you remember me or not. I was inside. I was in the group chat one time, and I said, "Does this game seem boring to anybody?" And,
is that right?
Yeah. And then I think we were playing the Bolts, and we ended up going up, like scoring a goal or two. And you were like,
"Yeah,
who put it was boring in here?" I didn't mean anything by it. I'm sorry,
that's
guys.
Right. Yeah.
So, but yeah, dude.
I remember that. That's right.
But yeah, that was me.
Hey, man, it's all good stuff. You know what I mean?
I'm happy to see Luongo finally get a second one.
Yeah.
I love
yeah, man. It's good to see him get. He deserved to win one as a player, but this is the next best thing for sure for him, man.
Yeah, then we have a good situation, you know. Sorry,
I get it, man.
It's bedtime.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna keep you, dude. He's killing me already.
Gotcha, bud. Hey, John, I appreciate it, man. All right.
Oh yeah, you have a good night. Go
you take care, bro. All right, we'll see you. We'll see you again, buddy. Yeah, we'll get 3. We'll get 3. I like it. Yep. All right, buddy. Enjoy. Oh, Jay Chuck, there you
What's
go,
up,
bud.
man? What's up, bro? How's it going?
How you doing, bud? You were the last guest of the night, and then I'm gonna pass out.
Nice. All right, so, like, what's crazy is for the past 3 years, like, I've started becoming a fan in, like, 2021, like, back in the President's Trophy thing, and I'm not a bandwagon.
Yeah.
But ever since then, whenever the Panthers are down, I was outside playing my hockey. And I was doing that this whole Stanley Cup final, and then they won. Like during the game when they came back, that's what I was doing.
Right. Nice.
Like I always join the streams because you guys are like a minute ahead of me.
Okay, we're ahead. That's funny. We're usually behind. Ain't that weird though with streaming and everything? Everybody's always. It used to be when the games were just on TV, everybody was pretty tight. You know, but now with everybody streaming in different channels and all of that, it's wild. I can't, like I don't look at the chat during the games because people spoil. They spoil the goals, right? You know what I mean? I can't, and I don't look at my phone either because my brother, you know, he'll send me, you know, when we score, he'll send something. So I have to wait for the breaks because I'll be sitting there looking at the phone and I see him say that, you know, we scored a goal and then I didn't even see it yet on TV.
Yeah. Like my dad has this crappy like Fire Stick thing that he uses. Like it pisses me off every single time he uses it. So that's why I like join you guys because I like being ahead. That's mainly the reason why.
Yeah, somebody was mentioning about the Fire Stick. I'll have to look into that. They were talking about that.
I mean, it has its good days, but sometimes it's god awful. Like I wouldn't really recommend it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but like it's great that they won again. Like the way the season ended, I was kind of nervous for Tampa. Like I thought we were gonna get our butts whooped by them, to be honest.
Right.
And then I was completely shocked by how like they won like 5-3 in the game 5 and how they came back in game 4. That series. I feel like besides Edmonton, that was my favorite series.
Well, I'll tell you, the one that I was worried about was Toronto. I was a little bit concerned there when we were down 2-0 and down 3-1 in that game. That's the one that I was definitely a little bit worried about. But since then, they've just been a machine for the most part, with the exception of the couple of blown leads with Edmonton. They just tore through people, and it's good to see.
Yeah. I feel like if we put in our full effort, like every single game, I feel like we could have gone 16-0, like swept every single series.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, sure. But there's always next year.
Yeah.
Right? There's always next year. So
I think
we'll
both repeat.
Hey, if we can re-sign some of these guys, if we can at least keep Bennett and Neckblad, I think we'll be good to go. I think we'll be good to go. You know, maybe get Bobrovsky a little bit of a better backup so he's, lower his games played to maybe 45, 47, give him a little bit more time off during the season. And we've got so much depth, we could end up in a situation where you could give guys a few games off here or there and give Reinhardt 70 games instead of 82 and stuff like that. If we wanted to get creative with it, we could do that, Yeah.
Well, what would you rather have, Bennett or McDavid?
To be honest with you, considering the situation with the team, I'd rather have Bennett because he's our guy. Like what Bennett brings to that second line is the Panthers' identity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just our identity. No disrespect to McDavid. Bennett drives the bus. We'll put it that way. Yep. So
I mean, I always like no disrespect to McDavid, but I hear people calling him McJesus and stuff like that. But it just pisses me off because I feel like in order to be the best player in the world, you have to win a cup, and he's lost 2 straight now.
Yeah.
So
it's tough. They need a goaltender. They do need a goaltender. I mean, giving up that many goals in the first period every game. That's rough. That's rough. So, all right, brother, I'm going to let you go. I am wiped out. I am done for tonight. I appreciate you being the last guest of the evening. Enjoy the rest of your night. Looks like you're outside having fun. And we'll see you again soon. Okay, bud?
All right. See you, bro. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care, buddy. Yep. All right, everybody. I'm toast. I am toast. I am absolutely toast. Thank you all for joining us. We had fun. I'll be live at noon tomorrow, without question. Tomorrow we might get fiber internet. We might get fiber internet in this house tomorrow. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, everybody, go enjoy the rest of your night. I am about to be lit like a Christmas tree. Appreciate all the love and support. We ain't done. We still got days of celebrating around here. All right, everybody, go enjoy the rest of your night, especially you, Trey. I know what you're going to be doing. See ya.